My name is Gene Saunders. I am the founder and chief executive officer of Project Lifesaver International. Our mission and our goals are pretty much intertwined. Project Lifesaver, the mission is to be able to recover quickly and efficiently and safely any person that wanders and becomes lost due to such things as Alzheimer's, autism, Down syndrome, or any other non-cognitive disorder. Now, as far as the goals would be to bring those people home safely, efficiently, and get it as far widespread as we can to all of the public safety agencies in the continental U.S. and Canada that can use this service, and there are very few that can't. Well, you know, when you talk about cutting edge technology that Project Lifesaver uses, I would be remiss if I didn't say it's not really cutting edge. The technology we use has been around ever since World War II, and it was used to locate spies. It's called radio direction finding. What we do is we give a person that may wander and become lost a bracelet with a radio transmitter in it with a predetermined frequency. If we need to locate them, we have a receiver within that bandwidth. We tune to that frequency, we pick up that signal and hone in on it and move in the direction of that signal until we find them. So it's not really, you could say it's somewhat cutting edge, but it's tried and true and reliable, and that's why we use it. We work a lot of the communities in the area, especially their public safety agencies and their advocacy groups, to let them know, first off, Project Lifesaver is available, what a benefit it would be, not only to those particular community agencies, but to the public safety agency. It cuts down the cost of searches, it brings these people home safely and without injury, and it cuts down on the manpower usage in a typical search for a person such as this. Well, you look at a typical Alzheimer's search is 9 hours at $1,500 an hour. Now you have this program, the people are trained to use the equipment, they're trained to interact with the person. Average search time less than 30 minutes. And now you're using 2 people or 3 people with receivers to hone in on this particular bracelet, rather than putting hundreds of people out there and all they're doing is stomping through the woods or stomping through the grass or walking through the neighborhoods hoping that they see them. With an Alzheimer's patient, you've got to locate them within 24 hours or you know there's going to be big problems, such as injury or worse. Now talk about an autistic child. That time is now cut to 15 minutes because they're going to be in trouble real quick. Same with a Down syndrome child. So when you're searching and you're trying to locate these people, time and speed is of the essence. My motivation to start Project Lifesaver came from my time with the police department in Chesapeake, Virginia. One of my collateral duties was I was commander of special operations. Well, special operations included SWAT and search and rescue. One of the things that we noticed going in the mid-90s, we were searching more for Alzheimer's patients than we were for anyone else that was lost. Well, at that time, there was not a lot known about searching for Alzheimer's patients. So we were just using the same old tried and true methods and they weren't working. I became a little frustrated over not being able to find these people quickly or not being able to find them at all. And 6 months later, their body turns up in our search area, which is not only embarrassing and frustrating, but hard to explain. Why did you miss them? Well, there's a lot of reasons, too many to go into right now. But I kept looking for some alternative. There's got to be a better way to do this. And actually, I came across the concept of wildlife tracking. So if we can do this with wildlife, why can't we adapt it to do it with people that are identified as at risk? That way, if they do get lost, we can go out there and locate that signal, go to them a lot quicker with a lot less people, and probably save a lot more lives. Project Lifesaver gives you the ability to arrive on scene, pick up the signal from the bracelet they're wearing in the radio transmitter, follow that signal and recover them in minutes rather than hours. The advice I'd pass on to a caregiver or a family member that has a person that's at risk, such as Alzheimer's or autism or any of the other cognitive disorders, don't think they won't wander. 60% of the Alzheimer's patients will do it. 72% of them will do it repeatedly. How many times is it going to take for a caregiver or family member to realize this is a dangerous situation? And one of these times it's not going to end well. The best thing you can do is add that little extra layer of protection so that if they do wander, that we can find them quickly and bring them home safely. The resources that are available to protect the most vulnerable, well, first one I would say is Project Lifesaver. It's tried and true. We've made over 4,000 rescues safely without a failure in all 50 states and Canada. Now there are other technologies out there. I would say if you're going to use another technology, you better do your research. You better know what you're getting because they all don't work the same and they're all not as reliable. And that's why we use what we use, because of the reliability. You also look at the point of view that Project Lifesaver uses trained personnel. If you're going to use another technology, you better know what you're doing with it. You better know its failure points, where it will work, where it won't work, and when will it go dead on you, and what kind of situations will it absolutely not work. So you need to do your homework, research, know what you're getting before you apply it. Well, I've been very fortunate on the experiences I've had because when I was actually in the field starting this, I did over 200 searches. So when you try to narrow that down into what was the one that taught you the most, all of them taught you something. If you didn't learn from every one of them, then you weren't paying attention. But I think the very first search that we ever did, and we recovered the man in a minute and a half from a locked closet inside of a stairwell of an apartment building, told me that this concept worked. It told me that we were doing something good and we needed to continue it. So I would look at that as the biggest learning experience that I had. There's been plenty of others, but we don't have the time to go through all those, but you learn every time you go out. Historic or noteworthy events that I may have participated in or had some contribution, I feel like myself and my staff have contribution to everyone that's located and brought home. And I think that is what keeps us going for the common cause. I think they're all historic because nobody else was doing any of this kind of thing before we started. Everything that has come post start of Project Lifesaver. So I look at every search, I look at every one of them as being historic because it adds to the lineage of the success of the program and why it's needed.